We are live.
It is Friday night. It's Paranormal Science Live Live. I'm Lisa.
I'm John.
I'm Tristan.
I'm Benson.
We have on the line with us Miss Mary Marshall, the Paranormal MD.
How are you doing?
I am doing great. I'm so excited to be on your show.
I'm glad to have you on the show.
I mean, when I first met you two, it was just like, I like these people. And so I was so happy.
Could you say that again? Because that was kind of a sexy voice thing you had going on there.
Yeah, really?
I like these people. Yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about. That's the kind of uppity and I needed right now. Stupid electronics. I hate electronics. And they hate me.
We may need to find a electronics therapist, Mary.
We need a tech guy.
Is that you?
No, that's Benton.
The tech guy needs a tech guy.
The tech guy needs a lackey. Benton.
That still would be you, wouldn't it? I'm just thinking. I don't know.
It still probably wouldn't go very well.
Yeah, because I think the lackey would mutiny or something over here.
He'd probably choke me in my sleep because I know he doesn't sleep. So he would be sneaking in my room and probably choke me. He probably would. He's not big enough to choke me, but he'd choke me. You can talk, Ben. That's they can't see you shake and laugh.
You
know what? I used to be a big shake. I didn't laugh like out loud, and I would be like that person that was just sitting there shaking and not making a sound and just looking like something was wrong with me. But I laugh now. See? Ha! There you go. I laugh in your face. No. It's just that weird of a night, isn't it, John?
Yes, it is.
Well, it's Friday night. It's before a 3-day weekend for those of us that do work. I don't know. Do you get a 3-day weekend, Lisa?
I do. Amazingly.
Lawyers actually don't work anyway, so I didn't think an extra day off would be much of a day, really. Yeah.
Excuse me. I just drove 200 miles.
Oh, pumpkin butter.
I know.
She now got the nickname Pumpkin Butter Tristan. That's
pumpkin butter.
You're peanut butter, so.
Yeah. Now he's pumpkin butter at home.
Oh, okay.
Oh my goodness. Okay. The electronics, everything's going to be fine. It's all good.
It's all good. Hi, Trish. Trish is in there, in the chat.
Cool.
The chat is only for us, unfortunately, but I'll just pass that on that she is here. So what do we?
Oh, hi, Trish.
Hey, Mary says hi. I'm sure she can hear you.
That's why they call it radio.
I'm hoping.
Just saying.
Of course, the way things are gone, getting into the show, I'm not too sure that anybody can hear us right at the moment. Hey, Trish, can you hear us? Trish.
Is she paying attention?
Trish.
She went for a sandwich.
She did say hi, Mary, really.
She's just faking it out.
Yeah, she's
just in there, and she's actually like walking away,
putting
the TV on or something.
Come on.
So, okay, I'm slow. She said yes, she can hear us, so we're good. All right.
Okay, good.
So, what are we going to talk about tonight? I mean, what do you got going on now that in the world? I know that you're taking a break from your radio show, and
I am. Yeah, my show is on hiatus, but I've been was kind of honored and asked by Jim Heater, who has a show called Paranormal Geeks, and so I'm doing a semi-regular. That doesn't sound quite right, but it's semi-regular co-hosting on his show and just having fun doing that. So. Just kind of, keeping my toes in the water, so to say. And he's just awesome. So when he asked, I was like, yeah, sure, I'll do that.
Cool.
So.
Well, I do like your logo with the ghost and the nerd glasses. That's pretty.
I know, right? That's a great logo.
It is. And when does
I
it
told
air?
him I was jealous. I want, you can't do anything with my logo. It's like, what am I supposed to
I
do?
don't
with
know.
that?
You could do like a sexy nurse outfit.
The lab coat and the stethoscope.
How come you boys are shaking? The boys are shaking their head at me. Lisa didn't even skip a beat. She's like, whatever. The 16-year-old boys are going, what are you guys talking about?
No, we know what you're talking about. That's why we're
It's
shaking our heads.
it's
And we're
paranormal.
17,
That's what we're talking about on there.
Oh, 17, whatever.
All right. So what I will do is I'll run out a couple things. So besides not doing the show right now, but I do have. I'm gonna just throw some plugs out there. I have some classes that are starting in July. I'm starting at this new. I've been doing mostly colleges. And this is a place called the Infinity Foundation, and it's out of Chicago, and they have a few locations. I'm teaching out of Highland Park. So anybody who may be in that area of Illinois, come and check out the classes, because that's a different, I'm doing ghost and spirit entities class there. And that's been kind of fun, because I do a lot of science stuff.
I'm hoping we don't
and so
lose
this is
our ability to hear you. So,
And my finger went to sleep.
all right, can we hear you now?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
No, I can't. Could you
Can
say
anybody hear me?
Can you say that again?
All right. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Hey,
I am the Terminator. I'll be back.
No, do that. Do the one where you said how great it was to know us, or whatever that was.
You just want the sexy voice.
I do, yes.
Yes, he does.
Because you're a bad, bad boy.
Thank you, baby Jesus.
There you go. All right.
So, yeah, we met this guy. What was that guy's name that did the little show at the paranormal conference? Do you remember that guy's name, Mary?
Mark Deathridge
Something like
and
that.
Shane, and I can't remember Shane's last name. You mean from Fenema,
Yeah.
the radio podcast
Paranormal
thing?
Enema, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to get this guy. So one thing I want to clear the air. Two things. Lisa and I are not married. So,
You just act like you are because you've known each other that long.
no,
right?
we just spend entirely too much time together. So it's like being married without the paper,
Which is good. No.
which is good. And there are no benefits, but
I was going to say it's like being married without the benefits.
or paper. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we spend a lot of time in the dark together, which is even weirder. So,
And as Joan likes to say, in the bathroom.
yeah, and she drags me in the bathroom for paranormal research. I don't know what that's about.
Sure, that's what they're calling it nowadays.
Right, that's
Yeah.
what we call it here in the Midwest. Is my mom is wondering where we are. I don't know how to tell it. What's the address? Do you know? Hey, go outside and look for your grandmother. My mom usually comes and does the show, but our normal place, we had an issue with the internet, so we're at a shared office space.
You're in a
downtown.
It's a gas station bathroom, isn't it?
It's a bathroom. That's
We,
right.
no. We like to call it a shared office space.
Okay.
If anybody starts to grunt, be concerned. That's all I'm saying. So we're at a shared office space called the Hive downtown Joplin, and the guy that runs it was nice enough to let us come in here and do our show. And
He's a good friend of ours.
And
I was going to say, do you know this person?
no,
You
we just
walked in
randomly
like-
show up at places and say, "Hey, can we do our show there?" And they either say yes or no. And
It makes it interesting.
And if they say no, we toilet paper their houses. So
Do you see a theme going here?
bathrooms.
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
EVP sessions in bathrooms. Do you know how painful that is?
My team or group, which is continually downsizing, which I'm really okay with because it's much easier to work and get schedules with people. But at any rate, I do a couple like events, investigation events every year. And somebody after the last one commented something like, and I had to put it up on the web, on the internet. This is the most fun I've had with my clothes on in the dark with a group of people and my clothes on in a long time or something like that.
Were you in a bathroom?
Huh?
Were you in a bathroom?
I have done my share of bathrooms in investigations, though. Yeah.
I just don't. You know, if I'm passed on, I'm back to energy form. I'm not going to hang out in the toilet. I'm sorry. I'm just not.
I don't know. That'd be a perfect place to scare people, though.
And it
Literally
could be,
scare the shit out of them.
abusing. You could abuse yourself by, like rolling the paper, like paper out, so when they go, then all of a sudden they turn, it's not there.
Wow, that's pretty messed up, dude. That's like, here I sit in stinking vapor.
And then have while they're
Like
in there,
brimstone?
like kick all the other doors open, all the stall doors open, just to scare the heck out of them.
And then that would be awesome. You know what? Okay, never mind. That might be fun.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'd want to hang out in there forever. I mean, it depends on if you have like the sense of smell.
You don't. We know you don't have a nose, so what do you care?
Yeah, but you might be able to smell it.
You don't have ears, but you can hear.
Yeah.
You know what? With this, okay, here's a serious question in here, though. So we were talking about the fact that we don't believe that they can smell, but how do they give us smells? Scents, like roses or cigarette smokes. People will come across that. Sense memory things. So how do they know?
That's
how do
what
they
I'm
know
saying.
what this?
I think they still have noses. I mean, if they manifest, they show a nose, right?
Right?
But it's not connected to sensory.
You're thinking about it too much like a person. Think about it like energy. Because smell is an energy, right? So if you think about it from an energy level...
Smells a stink.
That could be, but it would still be energy.
But it's still electrons and protons.
It is. I mean, right? So if you think about it from that level, then that's how they still pass that on.
Well, there has to be some type of partial manifestation.
So then...
Like, in a sense, for either creating a smell or moving objects. They can't, otherwise right? It can't just, so there has to be, even though we may not be seeing it. Same thing for hearing them. If we hear them, not on an EVP, but you're hearing a disembodied voice, there has to be a partial manifestation of some kind, whether we're seeing them or not. Because if we're hearing it, it's an acoustic sound. They're actually pushing little, air molecules so that we could hear it.
I can agree with that, kind of.
Yeah.
But I still think from an energy, it's still an energy level because it's not all of them are audible.
No. But meaning if it's not audible, that's one thing. But if you're sitting in a room and all of a sudden, you hear somebody say something or a scream, right? There has to be, we're hearing it as sound. And I mean, our ears work as transducers, but it's got to come in with acoustically and then be changed into an electrical signal. Now, if it's not something we're hearing, well, that's a different case completely. That's a different situation. Then you don't have to have, that would just be an energy level.
Well, I don't know if you are, as a sensitive, you're sensing something, but it's not audible. I mean, the brain still works on electrical circuits.
Right. But if you're hearing it,
like
you're literally hearing, like you're
like
hearing my
audible.
voice now.
Oh, okay.
But something that you're physically hearing, that is different than on a psychic level or if it being an EVP or something
Yeah.
like that. Because then it is more on an electrical and or energy level. But if it's
say
something that
that.
you're hearing, we're physically hearing.
Now, wait a minute. What if it's one that Lisa hears and I don't?
And we're sitting next to each other.
Is it still audible?
Well, probably because you have shitty hearing, so.
But I hear spirit very well.
Well.
It's
Just differently.
Just people that I tune out.
That's just selective hearing.
Oh, must have been being married twice. I'd do it. But no, seriously, like if Lisa were to hear it and if I didn't hear it, is that assuming that I had good hearing? Would that still be an audible sound?
Yes, because if somebody's hearing it, that's what makes it audible.
But maybe she's just hearing voices in her head.
That's for
Well, you
hanging
hear
out.
voices in your head.
No,
Yeah,
she-
I do that too. But...
No, you don't understand.
Oh, yeah. Is this where you go to the handcuffs conversation?
Yeah, where she handcuffed me and forced me onto the team. Have I ever told you that? It's horrible.
What?
Yeah. I went to a tour, and that's how I got roped into being on this team. I went to a tour, and at the Olivia here in Joplin, just down the road from where we are right now, actually. And Lisa pretty much just threw me in a trunk with handcuffs and said, "You're a team member now." And I said, "What? I don't even know what we're doing."
Fantasy.
And she hogtied me. I'm not gonna lie. It was pretty traumatizing.
How long ago was that, by the way? How long have you...
I've been with the team for what? Year and a half?
Mm-hmm.
Year and a half?
My goodness, you must spend a lot of time together because you certainly relate like you've known each other a whole lot longer than
You
that.
have no idea. We do a lot of investigating. A lot of investigating. We probably investigate at least 3 times a month anyway.
Do you really?
Yeah.
I mean, if you include tours and privates and all that, we do at least
So how do
3
you
a month.
get through everything? Or do you not?
Well, it's a slower process.
Tours
You
are
see, 'cause-
lower priority.
Tours are low priority. We do quite a few of those. Privates we focus on.
Right.
I mean, because tours, we're going to
Eventually get through it.
eventually get through them. And we recently bought out another investigator that's got out of it. And so we have more recorders and video. And
So we're more of gluttons.
See, I need to find somebody like that that's, hanging up their
shingle.
paranormal hat. Yeah,
Oh.
no, and so that I can get their stuff, like at a discount.
Yeah, we bought quite a bit. We got, 4 cases worth of stuff. I mean, RTs and... Oh, hi, Mommy.
Are you on air?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yes, we are.
you're
No,
fine.
you're fine, you're fine.
Come on in.
She went, oh, shh.
That's my mom.
Hi, Mom.
Hi.
This is Mary.
Hi,
Mary
Mary.
Marshall's paranormal MD. She's a paranormal doctor.
Not just
She
nope,
does
just
surgery on
paranormal.
spirits.
She's been talking about how John and I seem to act like we've known each other for a long time.
Maybe you have.
No, it's because we spend way too much time in the dark together. And in toilet EVP sessions.
Well, if you land up, so you do how many months? 3, you said?
At least.
Wow.
Most of the time we do 4 to 5.
Oh my gosh, that's way too. For me, that's way too much.
Plus we do the shows and, we do our show. We do other shows. And I have my own show for Walk the Mist for my little niche of society there. And we both work full time and we have kids. And this is why we're single, actually. I'm pretty sure now that I'm coming down to it.
There's no room left. But that happens because there was a point in time where I was doing it so much that there wasn't anything left over. I had of me left over. If there was time left over, I'm like, forget about, just chill out and leave me alone for those few minutes. But yeah, it can be really hard. If you guys are doing tours and then you're doing your investigations and then, yep, that would explain it.
And that's the hard part.
And because you're spending too much time together in the dark, might be another issue.
Yeah, that could be an issue. I'm not going to lie. I have therapy because of it. I'm really glad you're on the show because I need an MD.
But I don't think that has anything to do with being in the dark.
No. But we got off on this whole married thing, and that just spun off into something else. the whole point of me talking about those guys from Springfield is they said on their show that they disproved spook light.
Oh yeah, that's that was that's over by you, right? That's
Yeah,
I'm trying to think because there's two of them and I'm confusing. I think that one because there's another one that I'm confusing with this other set of lights. I think that's in Michigan though.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them around the world. There's the Marfa lights in Texas and different ones, but
I'm just curious. I want to get them on the show because I want to find out how they disproved something that people haven't been able to disprove in how many couple hundred years.
yeah.
Oh, well, the Army Corps of Engineers.
Yeah, the Corps of Engineers and popular science went down there in the 50s and different TV shows and yeah.
There's just so many that have.
You know what they're going to say? They're going to say it's lights from the highway, which of course it's completely
easily
debunked.
Yeah, that's.
I have a friend who did that. There's this lights like that too, that in Michigan. And oh gosh, I wish I could remember what they did. And it was the same thing. People have been going back and forth and they're saying it's from the highway or it's this or that. And it wasn't, but it was something. And they actually were able to film and recreate it. So they really did. But you know what? People since then are still going, oh, but these lights are paranormal because people don't want to pay attention and or believe. They want to believe what they want to believe.
Right.
Well, I mean, the
I don't know about the ones by you, but these
Yeah.
were the ones in Michigan.
Well,
you know.
this one has been the Hornet Spook Light or the Joplin Spook Light's been seen since the 1830s during the Trail of Tears. So I don't think it was car lights.
That's true.
It could have been.
Maybe buggy lights.
It could be a lamp.
Except
Yeah,
for
that was-
swinging through the trees.
Right, well,
that's,
you know.
Flying lantern.
Well, and they say that one of the things they say about it is that it is a reflection from the highway. Well, the highway's probably a good 5 miles away anyway.
And the angle it's at and the grade.
Angle and the trees and I mean, I just can't see that even remotely being possible.
Well, the cover photo that we have on the PSL page on Facebook is a picture of it, and it's actually caught on a side road.
Yeah, that was our road that we lived on.
Yeah, and which would be a completely different angle anyway.
Yeah, Mom saw it several times by the house. Even did you see it in the house or just outside?
No, around the house.
Just around the house.
And that room faced away from the highway.
Yeah,
And the highway was like 3 miles north of the house.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it in different places and from
Yeah.
different directions, so that doesn't make sense anymore. But I'd be interested to see how they debunked it.
I will have to find out. I'll get them. I will bug them for you.
Yeah, because they really
Let's
like
say.
you. I mean, like, that Mark guy, like...
He was drooling.
I'm pretty sure he thinks you guys are dating now. I don't know. Something about
Yeah, no, it must have been a love 'em and leave 'em type, Next, saw him at the conference, and then
Mary,
took
Mary.
the show, and that's all he wanted me for was the show.
Mary, 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 what are we going to do with you?
Then that was it. After it was promoed, all right, bye.
Yeah.
Just for the record, I was been texted that these lights in Michigan are called the Paulding lights.
Yeah, I just saw that. Pam says it's the Paulding light in Michigan.
Yeah.
That's what Trish just said. We'll have to look that
She
up.
probably didn't think I would look at to see the text, so.
So tell us about, you're up near Chicago, right?
I'm in the Chicago area. I'm far west, northwest of Chicago in like Hoffman Estates, Schaumburg area. And so mostly we're kind of like go all over the place. We're, as far as investigating, we'll go down to Indiana or wherever. And, it was quite a hike though, getting to that conference, I'll have to say.
Did you guys drive down?
We did.
Yeah, that's quite a drive.
Yeah, it is because we've driven to Chicago and investigated. So.
Yeah, we went to Joliet, right? Or Joliet.
Oh, see, and that's
Peatone
already
and-
an hour south of me.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not even to Chicago. So.
Yeah. And then we landed up, Trish, as a matter of fact, she lives a couple hours north of where the conference was. And so we stayed there. So it was kind of like a double drive because we drove there and then had, spent the night, then got up early, next day and then drove again. Although I did come late, so I guess it wasn't that early. But
I don't think you missed a whole lot. I mean, it was a great show, and I'm hoping that, next year, I think this was their first year of running it, and I'm hoping next year that we get a better turnout.
You know what? I think it was a shame that the news station, right, comes in at the end.
Right.
Rather than at the beginning. So I think it was just a matter of coverage, press and stuff like that is going to make all the difference in the world,
Well, and next year, I think that they should definitely focus on, because there's a lot of ways to get free publicity for an event like that. The news stations they love to cover that kind of stuff. And even if it's just a small story, newspapers and blogs, and there's all kinds of ways to get free publicity. So, I'm hoping next year that they actually, get that going, and it's a bigger deal.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that they're going to do it next year.
Oh, that would be
I
horrible.
think they were going to, because it was such an undertaking, and they did a fantastic job.
They really did.
They did.
That they were considering taking a break because it seemed like they'd been planning it for a whole year and like doing it, taking 1 year and then coming back. I don't know, if that's in fact what they're going to do or not, but that was mentioned to me. I hope they do it again. And people will be expecting it. As a matter of fact, you're talking about those guys, Mark and Shane from the other show, that from the podcast, they didn't know what was going on until it had like right beforehand. Mm-hmm. They were like,
saying that.
We live here and we didn't know. So that was part of, is obviously was just publicity wasn't enough beforehand. So
I
hope they do it. I would drive down again for it. I really enjoyed. I mean, obviously, I got to meet some good people like you guys.
Obviously.
Yes.
Met other people. It was like a lot of like-minded people. And I know everybody thinks when you're talking about the paranormal conference, like, oh, we're all like-minded. No, that's not really.
That's not true.
It's not the case.
There's
and
a
it was
there's
just
a lot of weirdos in our field of investigating, and I'm not one of them. I'm pretty normal.
I was going to say, it's bad when you've got people in a paranormal field who think other people are paranormal.
Yeah, if we call you weird, you're weird.
Yeah.
You're weird.
You're out
What do you
there.
mean I'm weird? You work in the paranormal. That's how weird you are. If I think you're weird, it's got to be bad.
It's got to be really bad.
Yeah.
So up in Chicago, do you guys have you guys obviously have to have quite a few places to investigate. We went to one that was just phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
We had a ball, and except for the hotel we stayed in was horrible.
That's a whole nother story.
Well, first of all, and I'm going to be, I was going to get myself in trouble, but it might have been, I'm just going to say this, it might have been the area that you were at.
Yeah.
Oh, I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
I mean, it looked like my door had been busted in for like the cops or something.
Yeah, it did.
I mean, I had to hold my tongue right and put my shoulder into it to close it. So it was pretty bad.
I've stayed in a hotel like that once for an investigation going into Indiana. And, you don't know. And you try to pick a chain, but you don't want to spend a fortune because you're literally just sleeping.
Right.
And so I think it was, like a Red Roof Inn or something. Oh, it was the same thing. It was like we actually, you could tell this room had been broken into a couple times. Mm-hmm. There were other just disgusting things going on in the room.
While you were there?
Well, not while I was there. There's just like no way to tell this story. But it had to do, I was sharing the room with a female investigator friend of mine. And how do I say this without it being bad? she took her shoes off next to the bed. You know, she took her shoes off, and then just immediately was like, ew. So I don't know what she stepped in, but it was kind of disgusting.
I thought you were gonna like say she had bad feet or something. I don't know.
No, and I mean, so you know, this has happened sometimes when you're going on investigations. You'll end up in areas, or you go out and you're afraid if you have equipment in the car because you don't want to leave it in there.
No.
You ever do that?
No. That would not have happened there.
No, I was expecting a chalk line in this place. I mean, it was really that bad. I was wondering if we shouldn't investigate it. I mean, just for
well, I mean, we did watch drug deals in the parking lot.
Yeah, we did watch drug deals,
Yep.
which actually was okay. You know, to each his own.
You didn't get arrested in the process. No, I'm just kidding.
Brother's got to make a buck. I understand that. So, and over there, you do what you got to do, right? In Chicago, you got to make enough money to live in this place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was. Were you actually in Chicago or were you in Joliet?
We were Joliet. We actually stayed in Joliet.
Yeah, that's different. Yeah.
Yeah. It was. But we had a good time. You know, we got to see some cool places and some neat stuff.
Did you go to there's a mansion down there. I'm so bad at remembering the names of places. I am not the ghost Lorian type person, you know, what knows like in this place and that place and all the stories.
Is that like a Paranormal Lorian?
It's like instead of folklore, it's ghost lore.
Right.
So it's my word, ghost Lorian.
Ghost Lorian.
Ghost Lorian.
I guess we could say where we.
Do we want to?
Ow. I'm bleeding. What
Did
did I do?
Monmouth?
What?
He just started bleeding.
I think she stabbed me in the forehead.
I did not.
What did I do?
You psychically stabbed him, didn't you?
She psychotically stabbed me in the forehead. No, I guess we could say where we went. I mean, really, at this point.
Unless you want to keep it under wraps for later.
Why would it matter?
I don't know. I don't care.
We went to. You're the boss. Why are you looking at me like I'm not saying now? I'm not saying. We didn't go anywhere.
See what I have to deal with.
Well, see, now you can't. I'm not even. I'm on the. Not. I'm not listening, and I want to know. I mean, I listen to you now, but
wait a
not
minute. Hold on. You just said you weren't listening?
No, I'm not as a listener.
We went to. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter.
No.
We went to Edwin's.
Crying out
Roadhouse.
loud, just say it.
We went to Edwin's Roadhouse.
Among other places.
Okay. But you know where Edwin's is?
No.
It's down by Piatone.
Yeah. That's where it's an Al Capone. It's a known Al Capone hangout.
Oh.
And it was just a fast. If you haven't been there, you should go.
Oh, then I
Even
might
if
have
you just
been.
go
I
for a
might
beer.
know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and it's still
Still a working bar.
Yeah, it was a bordello at the time.
Yeah, it's a fascinating place.
Yeah, the Bordeaux. Oh, you just did that. Is that the one you guys just did? Like
No,
a
that's
month
in
ago?
Galena.
That's a different bordello.
We like to hang out in old
Bordellos in the dark
whorehouses.
together. Getting a picture here now, Dessa. I'm seeing what's going on.
Yeah, we like whorehouses.
Yeah,
really, it's fun.
Yeah, we hang out in bathrooms and whorehouses.
We're a fun kind of paranormal group. We like to keep it interesting.
What was this previously?
Well, not here.
No, not here.
No, not
Yeah,
here.
of course, it could have been. Who knows? It was
Actually,
this building's been
upstairs.
here since 1901.
Yeah, upstairs. Who knows?
Yeah, the building we're in now could have been.
Well, we're not that far from where one was, the House of Lords.
Yeah,
Well, no, that's true.
yeah. We're really not that far.
Yeah.
See, you've got to pick nice places. Like I've been to, this place we're going to that we have that we're hosting the in Paranormal MD Investigations is in Red Cedar, Indiana, and you got to pick it. It's nice. I mean, I went there. We did our own thing. Then we held when I was doing the radio show like a listener appreciation there. Mm-hmm. Going back again because it's right on the lake. It's beautiful. The outside, I mean, as far as the weather, you go nice weather, you're right on the lake, beautiful sunsets, it's gorgeous. The downstairs is, like a museum part, which is really cool and interesting because you get to look and, touch all that stuff. And then the upstairs is all under construction down to the slats, giving you that creepy effect, which is also where we call the one, this one guy there, the creepy guy, but...
Is that a technical term, Mary?
It is. It's a technical term.
Creepy guy.
Well, and here, you know what? And it's right next to a police station. So when we came out of there, I have to tell you this because I always love these kinds of stories. We're next to the police station. We come out. It's like whatever. Everybody else had left. We were obviously breaking down and packing up, ready to leave. And then this cop comes out as we're in the lot and, excuse me, were you in there? And then we're thinking like, oh my gosh, we're going to be in trouble. Wait, we were with her. She let us in. It's one of those kind of things. Mm-hmm. And he's like, oh, no, everything's fine. And then proceeds to tell us how the cops see the figures in the window of this woman all the time. Oh. And they're creeped out so much, he proceeds to go on and say, we won't go in there. And they one time they went in to check. The door apparently had not been locked. And they opened it and they're like, we got to go in. Yeah, I suppose we got to go in. So they go in. They get about halfway down the one hallway from the front entrance and then looked at each and then heard something and looked at each other and said, there's nobody in here, right? Yeah, we're good. Yeah, let's go. And then the cops left.
We've had cops join us on investigations a number of times.
Yeah.
We've also...
Well, see, that's more comforting from a civilian standpoint. I don't want my cops afraid of going into a haunted house.
See, that's where I'd want to go. If I saw the cops running out, I'm going in.
Well, yeah.
I know, but I don't want my, excuse me, I don't want the cops, I don't want to see them running out because they're also the ones who are supposed to protect my butt from live bad people.
I know, but they're running from things they can't shoot, so.
Yeah, you know what? That's exactly it. Because that's really not an uncommon response by police. I've come across that before, and certain male types too. Because if they can't shoot it or punch it, they're either going to try to ignore and deny it, or just don't, or try not to deal with it because they don't know what to do.
Not really sure how to take that.
You don't run away from it though.
That's true. I do run, and I proved that this weekend. So.
Yes, you did.
Something scary happened, Jonathan, and you.
We just had a big black mass at one of our locations, and I went after it, and it went after me.
Oh, did it really?
And I don't know, did you even notice the Keystone Cop routine on the stairs? Because you stopped on the stairs, and I ran into you, and then Brian ran into me.
No, I didn't even notice that. Well, I didn't want to scare it away because we seen this big black mass on the stairwell, and it just darted. It was gone. So I went about halfway up the steps trying to see if I could see it and not try to scare it anymore, Mm-hmm. And it came over and pretty much it engulfed about half of me.
It did. It was very interesting because I was on this, because he stopped and I was right behind him, so I ran into him, and then the fellow behind me runs into me, and so I'm literally one step below him, and then Brian's right behind me, and it descends around John, and you can't see him from the waist up.
Wow.
Yeah, I was pretty
Did
dizzy.
Did you do like a swatting, like trying to get it away, or was it so quick that you just didn't even have a physical
I
response?
don't usually do that. I allow it because I want to know. And I was hoping it would share who it was and what it wanted and why it was there. And what What are you whispering to my? This is a no EVP whisper zone. What are you doing whispering to my mother?
You're talking. We're having a conversation over here, so you just leave us alone.
So I wanted to find out what it was doing and who it was and why it was there, and it really doesn't bother me. I did say for probably a good 10 to 15 minutes afterwards, I was not entirely still here in my body. It took a little bit of tree work and some groundwork to get myself back into me. But no, it was interesting. But the bad thing is I really didn't get any more information than I had before. But I'm hoping, because this entity has been not very nice to others, and I came out of it pretty unscathed for the most part.
It did. It affected you much differently than other people.
And it didn't throw me, and I wasn't crazy running out of the building. So,
which it has done to other people.
It has done to other people. And I won't... So I'm hoping that in the future I'm able to get more from him. But I know people that have seen it, I mean, other than Lisa, and they pretty much had the same impression that we have of it without me telling them what I thought first. So, I don't... Yeah, but nothing negative demonic. Oh, I was reading the chat room from it. No, it's nothing negative demonic. Probably never human, but very old.
It's almost like it's connected to the ground. It's connected to the ground or something.
Uh-oh. Are you there?
Did you drop a body? What's going on?
I got you. We lost our speaker for a minute. I'm sorry. What did you say? Are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
He lost me.
I have a headache now, but I'm okay.
About what?
From the fall.
You dropped her.
Oh.
Just being weird. I know. Go ahead. Just say it. You're weird.
Mary, we were talking about this earlier. If I call you weird...
I know. That means it's really bad.
You were weird. So if you said something, I apologize while I was talking. So,
can I ask about the black mass?
No, sure.
Well, I know when I've been hit, when I got hit in the face out there at the college, it was cool and dampish. Did that have any kind of a feel like that? Was it warm? Was it cool? Was it...
No,
Good
it felt
question.
It felt like it was choking me, is what it felt like.
But no temperature difference.
But no temperature difference.
And no, like, damp or...
High energy. No. No feeling of... No, like, wet or anything like that. Even, I mean, there just wasn't much of a feeling to it. Now, as far as an energy level, it was extremely high and extremely intense.
See, that kind of is freaky when that happens, that kind of energy level. It's kind of unnerving because it obviously is affecting you, and you know that even if you're sure that it's not going to hurt you, it's still that kind of like electrical jolt type thing.
No, I get that. Yeah.
It's
absolutely.
like, make it stop.
Yeah, and I think that I really think that because I have such a strong spiritual background, I think that it doesn't affect me, or that I can walk with it maybe in a better way and understand it more.
Well, and I think it has a lot to do with the kind of person you are. Not that. Not that.
It's because I'm sexy, and
well,
I know
that could be it. It could have been a case of rape. I don't know.
Okay, so
Rape.
rape.
It'd be interesting to see if you could, after a length of time, transform that energy into a lighter. Would you want to do that?
I think it has a purpose.
I do too, but I don't know what it would be.
I just don't know what it is.
I'm really hoping that over time that it will confide in me enough and trust me enough to be able to tell me. Because it's been there a long time.
Yeah. I think it's been there longer than the house.
Yes.
That's interesting.
I think it has something to do with the land.
Maybe Indians in the past.
Possibly. and it has never ever been human.
No.
Now, what makes you think that?
It
It
doesn't
doesn't
feel.
have it doesn't have that feeling. It doesn't have that personality of a human entity.
It's a different type of energy.
Yeah.
I don't know how to
It
describe
is.
it.
Humans generally aren't that strong. I've dealt with some pretty strong ones, not like this.
Mm-mm.
This is completely off the charts as far as I've ever felt or dealt with. So,
That's interesting.
and it just doesn't have that. It doesn't have human energy is different. I mean, it really is. It's lighter.
Yeah. Well, and, this is also a location that, John Zaffis reacted very strongly to and said that he felt it was one of the most haunted places he'd ever been.
Right. We should get married down here.
Ghost bait.
Ghost bait.
So, do you think it's like a primordial energy?
Maybe.
Maybe
Elemental.
more elemental, more type. It's not your general elemental, though.
I don't think it's a he she.
No.
It's a.
It is.
Isn't most energy though?
But energy usually does have a form of it. Maybe it's last or what it remembers itself as. This doesn't. It doesn't have any form as far as. I don't think it's ever been.
But it's aware.
But it's aware. Oh, it's very aware. It was watching us, and we could see it looking over the stairwell at us. And when we confronted it, not in a bad way,
Right,
just,
but just-
acknowledged its existence, it went. So I went after it.
Well, and you just walked up a few steps.
Yeah, I really
you know,
didn't go that far. I didn't want to chase it down because, like I said, I didn't want to scare it,
And it came down.
and it came down to me. But I now, granted, in its defense, I invited it too. I said because I said, "Can you talk to me? Can you, give
Right.
me information?"
But it has done that. It has done that other times too to other people. So,
But I felt woo for a good 10, 15 minutes. Woo.
But you didn't really have the time distortion that other people have had.
No, I didn't really have a time distortion. I had just felt not completely back yet, which is not uncommon. For me, I just had to go outside and ground.
Yeah, other people have experienced it where they've had like 3 or 4 minutes feel like hours to them.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that. Now, I didn't hear you come out, but I was still kind of lost for a minute.
Yeah, I
But
can tell you were.
I wasn't. I was there, but not there. If that makes sense. Not partial.
So, what is your process of recovery from that?
Mine is just re-earthing, regrounding. I go outside and I'll grab a tree or touch the earth and just calm myself and allow myself back. That's how I get back from it. Everybody's different.
Right.
I've heard people say that they'll eat something. That's a grounding technique.
Listen to it.
I've never heard
Listen
that
to
one.
dirty jokes. That's my mom's grounding technique.
It explains a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah. Shaking limbs, bringing yourself back like that. It's really different. But that's what I do. I go back and I touch the ground because ground is probably Mother Earth is probably the most powerful force on this planet of her, and so that's the one that's going to be the best for bringing people back from that kind of instance.
For me, it's crystals usually.
Yeah, meth.
Excuse me.
What? Nothing. Did I say that? So, what about you? What's your way of getting back, Mary Marshall?
I would say, you know what? It's probably pretty much. Again, it's kind of similar. First, obviously, removing myself from whatever the situation is, because I've come across that with just some ghost entities, not versus something being non-human, that have been pretty strong, and just how that they will come on. It sounds weird how they come on to me, but how they come across, and it is like, and I've done that where I'll shake and I'm like, all right, and I try to bring it all down. If that doesn't, then it's removal, and then just the same thing, just kind of refocusing, bringing in some good energy, what do you call it? For doing my little protection. My new thing I've done that has helped is, and somebody told me this, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to try this because I just didn't feel like it was enough. Is I put mirrors on the outside of me so that anything now coming is immediately reflected back. That's like my little visualization for protection.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've heard that before. That's mirror magic. Is all that is.
And so it just, for me, that just kind of is an extra thing to kind of, encase myself in and put that on the outside until I can, everything's kind of bring it back down and focus. And like you said, for you, kind of center that back to earth.
Yeah, and that's,
so to say.
That's the hard part is just, if you can get yourself back grounded, that's, I mean, most of the time it's not too bad, but, every once in a while you run across one that's just can really drag you away from yourself. You're kind of hanging on by a thread, literally.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you're a Christian, I know, and you have a very deep faith, but you're pretty open-minded about stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And so I think that's cool because, there's always more to it than just the basics, top level anyway.
You know what? And I think it has to be, especially doing what we do. The more, somebody had asked me about this, and I said, no, in many ways, my faith has become stronger, but it has also changed. More is over the years has been incorporated into that, so to say. It could be Native American, it could be this, and different things. What works for me and for what I do, and because I'm doing the thing where the first time I'm kind of trying to come to terms, and this is the first time I'm going to say this in public on your show.
Yes.
Exclusive.
You're getting an exclusive. Is that, just trying to come to terms with my own psychic medium abilities. It's not something that I feel that I can control very well, but it's there and it's time because it's rather exhausting to keep ignoring things and trying to put it away, put it off.
Well, people in general have everybody has the ability to be intuitive, psychic, whatever. A lot of people have forgotten it over, just generations and generations of not using it. But it's still there. It may be dormant, but it's still active. I mean, and people call it intuition. You call it whatever you want, but it's still there.
I was going to say, and that's for years where I would just leave it at, I'm very intuitive. And then as years go on, you start figuring out that, not everybody else works the same way. And then even putting it blatantly of connecting with some type of, person on the other side and getting information that way. And again, how do you know for sure? You don't. But what you can go on are what other people have experienced in or claims and what other psychic mediums may have said. And if you're all kind of saying the same thing and have never met each other and don't even know each other, probably on to something, kind of a thing.
Right.
But it's something that I really have avoided a lot of times, and a lot of times talking about it, and people are like, what's the big deal, talking about it publicly? And I'm like, because I teach so much science, and I always felt like there would be a problem with some people. If they hear that part, they're going to tune out, metaphysical, psychic, foo-hoo, whatever stuff. They want they want more solid stuff. But I really have started coming to the point of maybe I do need to talk about that also, because although that is there and I will at times privately use it to my advantage in an investigation, I am like the, hardcore, I want everything, facts, proof type of thing, to make sure whatever we have in evidence stands up to scrutiny. So it was like I decided, I need to start talking about both because you can have one with the other It doesn't have to be one or the other.
That's correct.
Yeah, and that's very much our approach.
That's how we use it. I mean, being a sensitive we don't necessarily call that evidence. What that is it's helping us get to the evidence, and that's what's important, right? I mean, it's not how you get there; it's that you get there,
right?
And if we get some stuff to back it up, great. The great thing about things like an echo box, for instance, is a lot of times you can get immediate, gratification in whether you're right or wrong in what you're thinking or what you're getting psychically. But still not evidence, but it'll get you where you're going, right? It starts heading you that direction.
Yep.
And we're starting to run close to the top of the hour here. I'd like to get you to let us know about how people can get a hold of you if they want to, or investigations if you're doing those. Books coming out if you have any. Website.
Yeah, no, it's a money issue. Can't get that darn book out. But anyway, I will do some plugging. I do have an event coming up, a public investigation event on June 27th. I'm going to be teaching classes at the Infinity Foundation in July. I'm also doing a semi-regular co-hosting on Paranormal Geeks, and all of this information can be found at theparanormalmd.com.
Can you say that one more time?
Theparanormalmd.com.
That wasn't right.
You got him all excited there for a minute.
Oh wait, my mother's here. Oh, never mind. Never mind.
Oh, you wanted the voice.
The voice.
The voice.
The Paranormal MD.
You got to drop it, and then you just got to get softer with it.
That's right.
Mary, it's great having you on the show. We really appreciate you joining us tonight.
Thank you, Mary.
Well, thanks, guys, and hopefully someday I'll get back out your way. Or next time you come up, if you get into Joliet, let me know. I'll drive down. I'll meet you guys.
Well, we're actually looking at maybe coming up there next summer. So not this coming summer or this summer, the one we're in, but the next year.
Well, she needs to come down and see the spook light.
Yeah, we can bring you down here and see the spook light next time you're headed this way.
Have a case of beer.
Well, we can't drink beer anymore, Mom. They arrest you.
Yeah, they do arrest you down there now.
Well, son of a gun.
I love that.
That's funny. Mary, thank you again. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Mary.
Hope to have you on again soon.
Talk to you soon.
Have a good night.
Thank you, everyone, for coming on. We appreciate you listening in. You have a great night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.